Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Review anything and everything. And today we're actually getting into, I'm a little late to the party with this, but we're getting into Ellie Sattler's Risky Rescue Pack. Now, this is part of the Jurassic World Legacy Collection, which for those of you who have watched the channel before or are, into collecting Jurassic World slash Jurassic Park figures would know that you have different subset collections like the Legacy Collection. This is one. You have the Hammond Collection, and you have the main line and whatnot. So, and generally speaking, I would say like the Legacy Collection for the most part is kind of like, I guess if you would say the main line is just the main line, the Legacy Collection is kind of like I don't want to say slightly more premium, but to a degree, a little bit in terms of what they give you. I won't necessarily say in terms of quality, but in terms of like, I guess like more bigger sets or like, older sets that are, pertaining to the first Jurassic Park or whatever the case is. So, and obviously you have Hammond Collection. So, this is one that, like I said, I had for a minute, hadn't had a chance to review until now. Take a look at the package. I feel like when it comes to sets like this that are part of the Legacy Collection or even the Hammond Collection is a little different because the boxes are usually like more of like stylistic, black kind of collector's box type of thing. Legacy Collection, their boxes seem to really have like art pertaining to like a movie scene because most of the Legacy Collection ones are connected with like a scene inside the movie, especially one of the older movies. Usually I think the Legacy Collection is specific to the older movies, but so in this one, obviously this one kind of takes from like two scenes to a degree. So we have the scene from the scene from um where Ellie is trying to get to I guess it's the power station or to reset the power, which you see that in the background of the box. It says danger, high voltage, that little kind of bunker where she went and Samuel Jackson's character, I forget his in movie character name at the moment, but his character had went in and got killed by the raptor. So this would kind of depict that scene in regards to the raptor and what's in the background. And then you could safely assume that she got there by means of. Did they get there by means of the Jeep? I really don't even remember, to be honest with you, if they drove halfway, then started going on foot, or if they went on foot from the beginning. Because I know she was with um, Robert Muldoon. She was with Robert Muldoon when they went there, and obviously he gets killed by the other raptors that are waiting off in the bushes in the rest of the forest area. So it's depicting that scene, but then also to the other scene that you could say that is depicting. So, like I said, it's giving you kind of two scenes in one. Is the scene where the T-Rex and her and Robert Muldoon go to check on Grant and the kids, and the T-Rex just finished attacking the whole setup. And in that scene, obviously, you can see depicted here from the mud that this would have been part of that scene where they jump inside the Jeep. They throw what's his name again? They throw Malcolm into the back seat area, and then they drive off and they get chased by the T-Rex, where they get the whole mud all over the Jeep and whatnot. So, like I said, it's depicting two scenes. I say that because I remember when this first came out. And like I said, I'm a little late to the party, but a lot of people sometimes were kind of complaining, like, why does it have the Raptor? Why didn't it have other things in it, or whatever the case is, as if to depict the one scene. But I think, and I am actually a fan of when they try to cover more scenes than one in a set, because that way, you can use it for different things. So, for example, of recent years, this is the only Jeep Wrangler Jeep that's available to be purchased. So, some people have gotten older versions that were like many years old, but if someone wanted something like this now, this is your only option. So, if you wanted to replicate the scene where the Brachiosaurus, which we have here on the side, I'm going to bring them into frame once we open this. you wanted to replicate that scene in the very beginning of the first movie where everyone's inside the Jeep. You could buy the Jeep. You could buy this set. It comes with Ellie, and you could get yourself a grant if you could find a grant because they're very hard to find. Um, and you could do the whole set up the whole scene. You may have to buy two of these if you want, catch them on sale. Buy two of these to have two Jeeps, but you get the idea. This is the way you would be able to replicate that scene. So essentially, every scene, including including this Jeep in it, you would have to come to this specific set to be able to replicate that. And the same was the case with the Explorer set. So let's get into what we have here on the back. Just show you some of the features, how you can open up the little containers in the back. Comes with Velociraptor. Obviously, what you see here. And I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to open things up, and then we're going to jump into it. All right, you guys, we're back, and it was actually easy to get the Jeep out and to get Ellie out. It was in the Raptor out. It was hard to get these mirrors out. Very hard. Now, I like to try to preserve the box if I can. So just to kind of give you guys a quick kind of breakdown on this, there is tape that goes across like this. If you slit that with a knife, this opens up from the side. That one opens up from the side as well. Not that you need to open up that one from the side. And then from here, you can stick your hand underneath this panel and you unscrew these little bits that allow the Jeep to just come right off. And that part's not a problem. So here goes our mirrors. And you can see they have stickers on them. So we're going to pop these in. Let's see. There we go. It's one, and this is two. All right, it's like a two-part click. There we go. Okay, so just the camera angle a little bit so we can kind of get a better look at this. So we'll take a look at the Jeep first. The inside, you can see there's a kind of just clear base for the panel. You have the steering wheel. You have the gear shifter right there, which obviously was, inside the movie. You actually have little cup holders, which is kind of great that you have that kind of detail. You can get the focus in there. You have your seats, obviously, in your back bench seat. And this right here, even though it doesn't open, I actually like that the detail in that wood panel right there, that little crate, really, actually very nice. You can see here, you got the mud splatter, which is nice detail. Got stickers for the headlights and other little decals and the license plate. It rolls nice. Spare tire in the back, which obviously is not going to come off, but is great for aesthetics. Hopefully this plate won't come off. It looks like the sticker is kind of put on a little slanted, but nonetheless, glad we have it. And let's see, these things should open up. And they're not hard to open up at all. So no, if you have any kind of other sets that have little accessories, you could throw them in there. And it looks pretty good. You even got detail on the bottom. So I definitely think this did a good job. Now, I think that the base price of this is going for about like $37, $38. I think it's a Target exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I think all the Legacy Collection sets are Target exclusives. But if it's not a Target exclusive, I will throw a link in the description for Amazon if that is available. But if it's not, then that just means it is a Target exclusive. And here we have Ellie with her little yellow coat on. Now, it's nice that the material and the fabric of it, I'll try to set away so it focuses. The material on it is soft material, and that's nice. but also be aware that you can't really take this off. If you could, which maybe you can, but I don't think you can, the arms are still part of it. So it's like a two part for the jacket in terms of like the way it looks and the way it's broken down. Now, this is obviously from the scene of when she's, you know, first running to go and try to save Alan from the T Rex and all, and gets there too late. Put her inside the Jeep, and she fits. Now, I'm not gonna stuff her in there too hard, but she fits. And now the Raptor. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is a very common mold for the Raptor. Um, I recently reviewed a Hammond Collection Raptor from Jurassic Park 3. For the most part, most of the Raptors are, for the most part, the same. They're not too different from each other, even though some of them might have little small aspects about them that are slightly different. But for the most part, they're all mostly the same. Code, you want that. Um, the tail doesn't twist, even though you see like the mold point where it is here. Not a whole lot of articulation, but I think it's good for like just having a Velociraptor in the set. You know, it does its job. It's not too bulky either, so I actually like that because I know that there was a version of a Velociraptor that, though I didn't review on the channel, but my kids have, which is an orange one. And it was actually had like a very fat belly, and you know, I kind of like the design of this one a bit better, just off the fact that it seems like a little bit more proportionate. Granted, the feet are a little bit big, but I mean, it is what it is. I think it's a nice basic Velociraptor to have. And now what I want to do is I'm going to bring into frame um, the Brachiosaurus. This is actually the Hammond Collection one. It's the only one that I have, and which I think is the best one just because of the details on the face. And I'm not going to be able to get in the full scope of the Brachiosaurus into the frame in terms of his head, but it's just to show you his body so you can get that sense of, you know, that scene in the movie. So here we go. You can see here, get a sense of the scope and the scale of things. The Jeep just pulls up. Brachiosaurus is there. You can see Ellie and how big she is compared to the Brachiosaurus. Obviously, because I've done a review, check back on the channel on the past video where I've done the review on the Brachiosaurus. But here you could see how the Jeep scales up. I'll put it in line so it's in the same focal range. And yep, there you go. You see it definitely has that size and that scale, so it works great. These kind of sets go hand in hand for you completing that scene, you know, where they pull up in the Jeep, Grant, you know, Malcolm, Ellie, and whatnot, and everybody, and Hammond, and they all just see it for the first time. Brachiosaurus, they get out, and he's towering above everything. So this set right here is a key set, mainly for the Jeep, and that's the reason why people are going to buy it. But for you to be able to replicate such scenes like this, such scenes like, you know, where they have the Jeep parked on the side when they're investigating the sick Triceratops, because the other guy, the other worker, is like, "Hey, I got a gas powered Jeep." You know, obviously the scene where they go to try to save Malcolm, they pick Malcolm up, then get chased by the T Rex. So all of those scenes, if you ever want to replicate them, this is the centerpiece for that. So yes, it's definitely a great purchase. I like it a lot. And for this era, if I'm not mistaken, I think there were two other past Jeeps that were created, but those are no longer being made. So this is now your current and only option to get yourself one of these Jeeps. Now, granted, the number on it, if you buy multiple, you're going to have the same number, but in the grand scheme of things, that really doesn't matter. You know, if you want to stock up on multiple of these just for the purpose of setting that up, you can. And I'm sure there's a lot of collectors out there who, you know, legit are able to set up their a full diorama of like their own personal Jurassic Park, which I would love to see if someone's done that before. As of yet, I tried to search for it, I couldn't find it. But where you take all your dinosaurs and you make a whole Jurassic Park layout if you have that. But of course, in that kind of scenario or setup, you would buy multiple of these to have Jeeps all around the park, along with maybe some of the other legacy sets similar to the Explorer set. So that way you had the Explorer. But I'm starting to ramble now. This has been the review of the Dr. Ellie Sattler Risky Rescue Pack. Bit of a long name. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, you guys, and share. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.